Tell me this isn't trifling without telling me this isn't trifling. Brothers, if you're watching this and you've ever been in a situation similar to this, or it has any type of signs that is leading up to this, be aware, be warned. Ladies, this ain't it.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
I'm making this video just in case a video of me pops up in the next few days. So I went on a date the other day, and my date showed up with her kids, her friends, her sister, and I'm assuming her mother. I, ordered something, cheap for myself, just an appetizer, since I've lost a lot of weight, my stomach can't take too much food. My meal wound up coming up to less than like 20 or 25 bucks.
I'm a little confused. If me and you have a discussion before we actually link up, and there within that conversation you tell me that you're inviting or asking if it's okay to invite, I already see how you view me. Everything I need to know is right there within that lack of concern or consideration. There's a group of y'all out here in the world who get in front of these social media spaces and the flex about how much money you got and how men ain't this and men ain't that, and how you got out on dudes and you have a audience of women who applaud you, but in the meantime you are extracting resources from these people, knowing that you have no desire to pursue anything deeper with them. A large trail of resentment lingers behind you. Bitterness, blood. You spilt and soiled the land with your lies and your deceptions and your platitudes of entitlement. Behind you, a bunch of men who have been bruised and scarred up from their lack of self-esteem and their inability to cut you off at the neck, because your priorities within that space has nothing to do with actually finding commonalities between the two. You're basically there to destroy, extract, and continue to process and eliminate trifling shit.
Give or take. But this woman who brought, I'm gonna go with like 8 or 9 other people, showed up and proceeded to order the most expensive shit on the menu, as well as like between 7 and 9 bottles of the most expensive champagne there, even though she said herself that it was just gonna be a date between me and her. When her kids were looking at the menu saying, hey, can I get this, can I get this, she said, yeah, sweetie, you can get that, he's got us covered, pointing at me. I'm fucking broke. So all our food comes. I, eat my meal, I'm being courteous, having a conversation, whatever. She's basically ignoring me at this fucking point, talking to her friends, family, kids, and all that shit. And so once I'm done, I'm like, I need to use the restroom. I'll be right back. So I walk up to the waitress and I say, hey, this was supposed to be a date between me and the woman sitting across from me. It was supposed to be just me and her. And as you know, they ordered the most expensive everything. And as I got up, they ordered the most expensive champagne on the menu.
You already know what kind of conversations she had leading up to her leaving out that house. Just off of what I'm hearing, which is crazy to even think that there's a story like this, but I already can imagine the level of disrespect that she showed this brother before they even met up face to face. You know, the conversations that happen behind your back. She called that man all type of names. She judged him based on his appearance. She judged him based on the way that he talks. She judged him based on his aesthetics, period, and automatically assumed that he was going to be one of them guys. What type of character can a woman like that possibly have that somebody would advocate for when it comes to long-term partnership?
Several bottles of it. So I said, look, I'm going to pay for my portion of the meal right now. I'm going to pay for that. And then I'm getting the hell out of here. She is expecting me to pay for all of their fucking meals and the champagne. However you want to handle this, handle it. But I'm not doing that. That's fucking crazy. The waitress was, nice enough and completely understood and said that this tends to happen a lot. But when I was sitting at the table, trying to have conversations with people and getting ignored and whatnot, the woman I was on a date with kept recording me, right? And I don't know what, she put on the video. She wasn't saying anything, so I'm assuming she put like some text or some shit. And I assume that there's going to be a video put out there talking about this man took me out on a date and made me pay for, my meal and all sorts of shit like that. So if you see that, please tag me in it.
You know what's fucked up about this whole thing? A lot of women will come in the comment section and antagonize men and call them sassy and weak, try to obliterate their character for saying, nah, this is some trifling shit. You are a 304, you are a gold digger, blah blah blah. Yeah, I don't like when they do that. Like, you see some shit is clearly wrong and y'all still will defend it. Says a lot about you as well. One of the reasons why I appreciate videos like this is because it helps weed out the bullshit. Because you'll have a group of folks in the comments section pretty much telling you they have the same character as the woman that is being depicted within the story. All it takes is context and understanding exactly what is being said. But see, they'll know shit is not right. You don't bring 8, 9 people, and then on top of that, you buying all of this expensive shit that you wouldn't have done with anybody else. You're doing it specifically for this person. You wouldn't do that with everybody. No consideration. Dismiss the man on the date and everything. And it's a lot of y'all that think like that. My man was smart. He peeped the game and he said, nah, y'all go ahead and do you. I'm gonna pay for my portion. But as far as the nope, not doing it. You don't even know this man. But that's the level of entitlement that a lot of y'all be having. You just assume because you're a female that you're just supposed to be giving shit. I think the fuck not.
Because I've got proof myself that she's full of shit and that this is not how it was supposed to go. Am I the asshole for doing this? Because in my opinion, when you go on a date with somebody, if I'm going on a date with one person, I'm more than willing to pay for myself and that person, as long as the bill's reasonable. Not if they're ordering the most expensive shit on the menu, multiple items of the most expensive shit on the menu for each fucking person who wasn't supposed to be there in the fucking first place, as well as buying a shitload of bottles of champagne. Not just any bottle, but the most expensive bottle for each person at the table as well. So if there's a video that comes out with my face in it, calling me an asshole for bailing and making them pay for it, hey, let me know. I don't think I'm an asshole for doing this, but she was the one that asked me on a date.
That's crazy. And I can recall a couple of conversations on some of these shows where I heard it myself. If I asked you on a date, then I will pay for the date. I digress. The hypocrisy is real.
And typically the person who asks somebody on a date pays, but I'm a gentleman. I was planning on paying for it, but instead I paid for my portion, but I wasn't gonna pay the hundreds of dollars worth of shit that they bought for themselves while ignoring me the whole time, while bringing their damn near their entire family, if not their entire family, their kids, and all sorts of shit, and expecting me to pay for fucking everything. So, if you see a video with my face and, talking shit about me or anything like that, please let me know, because this is what fucking happened. I'm not gonna post the screenshots of the conversation. I'm not gonna, fucking put this person's name out there and their face out there or anything unless they do that to me first. So, if you see this, let me know. Oh, and by the way, I did leave a nice tip for the waitress. I paid for my portion of the bill, and I gave her a tip equal to my portion of the bill. So, I highly doubt this bitch, even tipped. So, it was the least I could do. Plus, the waitress was fucking kind as hell. I'm making
That's crazy as shit, bro. Damn. I felt that. Women will find ways to embarrass you. Them story times, they be for brownie points, empathy, it be for views, clicks, and likes, it be to pretty much just gang up on people, essentially bullying folks without even knowing all the facts. Even if the facts are clear as day, you still will side with the woman knowing she's not in the right. Not very often men go to social media and tell their stories So you always hear from one perspective. I'm glad he did it, and I think that he handled that perfectly. There's no need for you to put her on blast like that. But these are the same type of conversations that we have often, and they just don't get acknowledged enough. That was trifling as fuck. And her friends and family are just as messy as she is. Y'all didn't even think to correct her for that shit. Y'all ain't see nothing wrong with it.
Welcome aboard the flight. This is pilot Pusha talking. We going back to Memphis and coming straight from New Orleans. The estimated time of arrival is about an hour, and I can turn you ghost if you try and play with my power. So when you look up and see the sun flashing, stay in your seat. If the flight attendant say you making trouble, then we got beef. The turbulence might get rocky. You better not spill your food. This is brand new plane. If you